Hey, how's it going, everybody? Sarasota Tim coming to you from Walmart. I'm going to take that bean bag back in there in a minute. But first, I got a video for you. Got a good one for you. I've had a few subscribers ask me to talk about survivor benefits with Social Security, widow benefits, whatever you want to call it. One of you dies, or an ex. It can be a little complicated. It's a lot more details with survivor benefits than it is just doing the simple math on collecting early or waiting till full retirement age. Let's see if I can give you the best video on YouTube about survivor benefits. You ready? Here we go. All right. You're married. Your spouse dies, her or him. And generally, he has been the breadwinner and made the most money. So usually it's the wives that can draw more than they're already getting, because you want to take the more than. You don't get two checks in this case. So if you're both on Social Security and he dies or she dies, you're not going to want to take her check if she makes less, but you're definitely going to want to take his check if he was getting more, but yours would drop off. You only have to be married for 9 months if you are married to someone that's paid into Social Security to get survivor benefits. You can be an ex-wife or an ex-husband and draw on a Social Security benefit person that died, even if you were married 30, 40 years ago. Let's say you divorced old Jim and you guys were married like 10 years. You got to be at least 10 years. Not 9 years and 9 months, 10 full years. Not divorced, not separated. From the time you got married to the divorce date on the decree, got to be at least 10 years. So you've been divorced forever. He got remarried a long time ago, and he's been married for 30 years. You're way back in history. But he dies, and you can get his Social Security check. So can his current wife, as long as they've been together for 9 months, married. So with me so far, you can get survivor benefits if you're married to someone that dies, that collects Social Security. How much will you get? Well, we talk about it in my previous videos about getting it early. If Jim started collecting Social Security at 62, then that's how much you get. You get his check. Whatever he started drawing, you can get 100% of that. If, you ready? Only if, only if you don't remarry until you're at least age 60, and only if you are your full retirement age. The only way you're going to get 100% of a dead spouse's check is if you are full retirement age. Otherwise, it works just like the regular Social Security about collecting early. If you can collect as early as 60 instead of 62 on survivor benefits. So if you're 60 and you haven't remarried, you got to be at least 60 to collect. Unless you're disabled, you can get it at 50. Or you got minor children, you can collect it at any age. But that's getting too deep. Remember, I promised we're going to make it simple. You're 60. You just had your birthday. You can finally draw on Jim's Social Security. Jim was getting $1,700 a month like I'm getting, because he started at 62. You are 60. So you're going to get a reduced amount because you're not full retirement age. In order to get whatever his was, even though he didn't get full retirement check either, but to get 100% of what he was getting, you have to be full retirement age, which is like 67 if you're born after 1960. And it can be earlier if you're born like me in 58, 66 and 8 months. If you're born in it goes back 2 months. I think as early as 66 years old is full retirement age. But they're really pretty much going to be 67 from now on. So just so you know, as long as you didn't marry until after 60, after you divorced Jim, as long as you're at least 60, you can draw 71% of whatever he was getting. If you wait until you're 62, 63, 64, you can keep getting more of what Jim was getting. If you delay, just like waiting on regular Social Security, you get a little bit more, up to 100% by waiting until you're 67 years old. Also, if you start drawing Jim's Social Security at age 60 and you're still working, you have that income limit that we have, like I have right now at 62, which is currently $21,240. So you have to watch out that you don't go over the income limit. So if you're a worker and Jim died, he was a lot older than you, and you're still working and you want to get his Social Security and you're making 40 grand a year, watch out. Watch out. So get with your accountant on that and do the math. But the bottom line is people want to know how, who, what, where, and when. Well, that's how you do it. Is you don't have to be the current wife or husband. You can be an ex. You can be an ex long time ago, as long as you were at least 10 years married. And here's another one for you. Here's an example. Let's say you're full retirement age. You were married to Jim a long time ago. He died. You can get 100% of what he was collecting. His current wife wants to get, but he married a younger woman. She just turned 60. She's not full retirement age. She gets a lesser amount. So if you're both full retirement age, you both would get the same amount. But if, depending on your age, if you're not, you got to be full retirement age to get 100% of what Jim was collecting. If Jim was collecting and he waited until he was 67, he was one of those cats that, believed in waiting forever and died at 70 after only getting it for 3 years instead of collecting it for 62, then he has this big check, and but you still have to wait till you're 67. So you can't cheat the system. You got to wait till you're full retirement age to get his full retirement age check. So it all really comes back down to what I'm saying in all my Social Security videos is whatever you can get as soon as you can get, whether it be survivor, your own Social Security, get it. There's something too about if you want to collect your Social Security, Jim died, and you want to wait till you're 70 or something like that, then you want to switch over. I don't know. There's something about that. What's the point? You're out of here soon after that. There's no sense in that. Collect. See, you only get half of your spouses. If you wait to get your Social Security, you're still married, and you both want to draw, your wife can take half of what you get. Well, your wife can get 100% of what you get, from 71% to 100% if you die. But if you're still living, she can draw on you and get the greater than if hers is only $500 a month and you're getting $2,000 a month, and she can get half of yours, $1,000 a month. Obviously, she would draw on yours while you're still alive. But if you died, she can get, starting as early as 60 years old, it would be like 71.5% of what you were currently, I'm talking to you, you're dead. What Jim got is 71% is all she can get, or he, if it's vice versa. Let's say she was a career woman and he was a stay-at-home mom. Anyway, survivor benefits are really confusing, but you can get them 2 years sooner than regular Social Security. You can't be married if your spouse died and you're an ex until after 60. or you'd have to go on the new husband's. There's no limit to time that you would be eligible if you were married to Jim for 10 years at least in your lifetime, should he die later in life and you never married. So you can get those survivor benefits. You know, I bet a lot of women out there were married to somebody years ago for 20 years. And he remarried, and he's been remarried for 10, 15 years to somebody else. Then you heard about him dying, and you're thinking that she's the only one entitled to a Social Security. Call the Social Security office and see what, and if you're already, you know, the years have passed, you're probably full retirement age. And if you're just drawing your own Social Security and it's a small check, you can get 100% of whatever his check was. If he started at 62 or if he waited till full retirement age, whatever he was getting, you can have it. The whole thing. As long as you're 67 years old or full retirement age, 66 and 8 months it is for me. Whatever your full retirement age is. And as long as you were with him for 10 years, married. So look it up. And then for those of you that are currently married now and had the unfortunate loss of a spouse, my condolences. And, you know, you don't know what to do. You had 2 checks coming in. You know, you were drawing yours. He was drawing his. Well, now, you know, you would drop your check and get whatever age you are, at least 60. If you're drawing your Social Security already, you're over 62. You would get whatever he was getting. So you don't get 100%. You'd only get 71% if he started at 62. But if that's bigger than what you were getting, his check was already bigger than yours every month. You both started at 62, see? But he made the biggest money. So he's got a $1,500 check. You got a $1,000 check. He dies. He started at 62, but, you know, 71% of the $1,500 check might be more than your $1,000 check. Always figure it out. Whatever you can get the most of. That's kind of like the survivor benefits. Was that the simplest video you ever heard of on YouTube? I doubt it. But I think a key component there was what I learned when I was trying to learn about this to share with you guys is that there's ex-wives out there that think that they can't draw on Jim because he remarried and they were married 25 years ago. And then they heard about Jim dying, but she was with him for 10 years. She can get it just like his current wife. So look into that. Maybe you're just still single and you're getting this Social Security check that's smaller or less, whatever, because you didn't pay in as much, you know, and this could be a life-changing thing for you. So absolutely, you know, look up your ex-husbands or wives, yeah. See if they're still alive. Your husband's been paying into Social Security and you just got married. As long as you're married for 9 months, you are eligible to draw his Social Security benefits. And I'm going to go out here on the limb and say this. Let's say you're both in your 50s and he's working and he's paying in his Social Security, but he hasn't even collected yet. And he dies, and you guys have been married at least 9 months. He hadn't even started collecting yet. I believe you could still collect his Social Security benefits, and they give you and Jim the benefit of the doubt that he would have waited until 67 years old for his full retirement. And you would get 100% only if you're fully retired. So you would have to wait till you're 67. But if you want to collect it now, you would have to have minor children. But as soon as you become 60, you can collect whatever he would have gotten at full retirement age. But if you do it at 60 and you haven't remarried, you gotta wait till after you're 60 to get married. And you want to get it at 60, you would get that reduced amount from the 67. They would give you the 67 big check, the bigger that big old $700 or bigger check. They give you the benefit of the doubt. They say, hey, he was probably going to wait. You know, he might have waited. So we're going to let you get 100% of his full retirement age. But you got to be full retirement age to do that. So if you're looking to get it 7 years earlier or at 62 or whatever, you know, much earlier, which I advise you to do, you would get starting at 71.5%, because that's about the reduction from the full retirement age. But you can collect that, you know, before you can even be eligible for your own Social Security at 62. So something like that should happen to you. Just remember, you can't remarry until you're 60 to get your widow benefits on the spouse that you were married at least 9 months to. And if you were married to somebody that died 50 years ago, you might want to check into that and see if there's more money to be had. No wonder the Social Security Administration is talking about going broke. They're paying all these ex-wives and ex-husbands all these checks. No wonder they want to delay and cheat you out of, you know, $100,000 by waiting until your full retirement age, and con you into waiting so they don't have to give you $100,000 for 5 years. People are dropping like rocks around here, man. Collect your money at 62 and start crushing it.